So I just came across a problem that I've had before. I should have known better, and I'm sure that you guys have had or will have down the road if you deal with these Vane style fuel pumps, specifically the Holley red and blue pumps, because they're so common. So here's what happened. I wanted to fire up Plan Z. She's been sitting untouched for about 6 months now. So I says, let me just fire it up, warm it up, circulate fluids, make sure everything's good. So I go to fire it up, I put a battery in it, I put a gallon of gas in it. I turn on the power, and the pump, I'm listening for the pump, and the pump doesn't sound right. It's not making that grrr like it's supposed to. It's very subdued, and like right away, I immediately knew what happened. So here's the thing with these pumps and their Achilles heel. Now, if you deal with these, you know that they have to be mounted at the lowest point of the fuel system possible, because they don't suck. They won't suck. They have to be gravity fed, and they push from there, which is fine. That's all good. Now, when they sit for any amount of time with gasoline in them, what happens is the gas deteriorates. And when it deteriorates, it sticks the veins inside the rotor. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll show you that in a minute. Now, common wisdom is to drain the fuel system whenever a car is going to sit for any amount of time, which this ran out of gas where it sits, so it was drained. But I should have known better, because even when it's out of gas, even if you drain the system, the way these things are set up, the way they're designed, there'll always be a pool of fuel underneath the lowest point of the fitting. So like I said, you could drain it, you could drain the tank, you could drain the line running forward to the carburetor, but there will still be, unless you take steps, there will still be fuel left in the bottom of the pump. Because here's the inlet, and you can see there's plenty of real estate between the center of the inlet and the bottom of the pump. So what happens is the fuel deteriorates and it sticks to veins in the pump. This is not the pump out of that car. This is another pump that I picked up for like $5 at a swap meet. I buy these things all the time cheap like that, because generally speaking, the electric motor stays good, but the problem is nearly universal, and I'll show you on this one here. If you take the bottom of it off, okay, well, that's a long screw, right? Okay, we pull our gasket away. We want to try to reuse this, all right? You'll see, oh, there you go. See, I haven't had this one apart, but guaranteed that was what was wrong with it. You see how stained up that is? It's like rust stained. And look inside here. You see the rust? So, okay, well, that came right out. And now you look inside there, and you can see how rusty it is. And that's from the fuel, and especially ethanol gas, that lays at the bottom of the pump, even after you drain the system, and it will rust. As it deteriorates, it rusts, and it gums up the inside of the pump. So this is the actual functional part of the pump. The electric motor is spinning this. This is a rotor assembly, and inside the rotor, you have these vanes. So let's see. All right, this one is free. It's just a little mucked up, but you can see the vane. Now this has to fit in here very loosely, because it's only centrifugal force. When the pump starts spinning, it's centrifugal force that throws these vanes out and creates the seal that allows the pump to work. So this one was free. Let's see, let's try this one here. This one is stuck. Oh, okay. Just a little, even if they're just a little stuck, like I was able to pop this one out with the screwdriver, this doesn't weigh enough for the centrifugal force to overcome the scuzz that's in the, in the slot. So that one would not have worked. And this one came out. There you go. Let's see the last one. Okay, number 4. All right, so this one wasn't too bad. This one was only stuck enough so that, like I says, centrifugal force won't fling it out. There wasn't a lot of fuel in here. But just the same, this pump would be non-functional if you were to plug it in and go. These vanes have to just fit absolutely, completely free inside the rotor for them to work. So with this one here, we'll just clean this one up. This one we'll just hit it with like a PB Blaster or WD and get some Scotch-Brite, and work it through there to clean that up. And the same thing with these vanes, and then it'll be fine. She'll function perfectly. Don't use heat on this, right? Your first inclination is, okay, well, it's metal on metal. Let's free it up and use a little heat. No, there's like a cush drive in there that'll just melt out as soon as you put heat to it. Ask me how I know. But yeah, if you've got one that comes apart really easy like this, so it's not making a noise that it's supposed to, or you've got no fuel pressure at all, and you pull the bottom of the pump apart, you got one like this, you can save it. If it's any worse than this, or if you actually have to dig it out, dig the vanes out, just throw it away, because they sell repair kits for these things. They'll give you a new vane and new rotors. New rotor and new vanes. Your car will run. If you've only got one of these stuck, because what will happen a lot of times is that the vane that's closest to the wall will get stuck. You'll lose one. It'll still be enough to run the car, but you'll only have 2 or 3 pounds of fuel pressure. You're supposed to have approximately 7 or so. These red pumps are self-regulated to like 7 psi. You get to the blue ones, you have to use an external regulator. All of the bigger ones, you need the external regulator. But it'll function at about 3 psi, 2 or 3 psi, if you're down one vane. So you won't even know there's a problem until you actually go to get on it and she starts starving for fuel. And that's another very common issue that I've seen where people they'll pull their hair out. Why is this thing running like this? But they don't bother looking at the fuel pressure gauge. It'll just start to stumble and run out of fuel. This is very often a cause. So with this one here, I'm going to clean this one up, and I'm just going to replace the one that's currently in the car with this, and she'll be good to go. But yeah, very common problem, especially with these pumps that have to be gravity fed. You'll never get all of the fuel out of them. But and the bypass too. There's a bypass here that will stick. So you want to disassemble the whole bottom half of the pump. You don't have to worry about the top half, the electrical part, but you definitely want to disassemble the whole bottom half of this and clean and lubricate everything. You're going to park the car for any amount of time, drain the fuel out of it, and then this bottom plate on the pump, what I like to do is just crack the screws on these, make sure that everything drains out of it, tighten it back up, and then give it a squirt of a light oil. You could use PB Blaster, you could use even Marvel Mystery Oil, anything that you can get in there, so that this way, as it sits, if it's going to sit for 6 months, it's going to sit for a year or 5 years or whatever, there'll be a lubricant inside the bottom of the pump to keep it viable. These things, I love these pumps. They're simple, they're nearly foolproof as long as you stay on top of the maintenance. You don't abuse them like I did with Plan Z. So that's it, guys. I hope you got something out of that, and I hope it saves you like $130 on having to buy a new pump. I'll see you tomorrow.